Hi everyone, I'm Amy Lee Miller, and last week I was talking with a good friend of mine who happens to be a very successful business owner with lots of loyal clients for years, including me. Good for him. I have no idea how he gets it all done. But anyway, he was sharing with me what his goals and dreams are, some other things in his life that he really wants to be doing. I love hearing this. I love hearing people talk about what they're excited and passionate about and what they really want to be doing, because that is step number one to accomplishing our dreams, listening to that little voice. I was watching a motivational video on Steven Spielberg, and he quoted, "The hardest thing to listen to is our human intuition. It always whispers, it rarely shouts." So something else my friend said is that success is in the eye of the beholder. So while others might admire us for our success and our accomplishments, if we're really being honest with ourselves, we might realize that, you know what, there's something more or just different that we want for our lives. And that's a good thing, because we can have whatever it is we want. However, not if we don't first say it out loud. And he did that, so I congratulated my friend. He took the first step. Okay, so now what? So my friend shared with me that he keeps delaying investing time in himself, in doing the things that he wants to do and needs to do that are going to help him get where it is he truly wants to go. So let's talk about that. I have another video on this. It's called Moments, and it is about giving ourselves moments. So what that means is when we feel an urge to do something we really just feel like doing. I mean, maybe we have a to-do list a million miles long, but we just really feel like doing XYZ, whatever it is. It is so important to listen to that, because when you do and you give yourself that time to do that, you're actually signaling to the universe that you are ready for more of that. And also, if we don't give ourselves time, it's not really making time, because we can't make time. There is only so much time, but we give ourselves time. We invest in ourselves, because if we don't, we will stay right where we are. And maybe we want more for ourselves. I do. Like my friend, I also own my own business, and I have enough work to keep me busy round the clock and never, ever, ever be done. However, I want more for myself. So I listen when I get those urges. When I feel inspired, I take 3 hours to sit there and write. My work will still be there. When I need to move around, I go for an hour run. If you want to write a book, get into better shape, take a class on finance and learn how to better manage your money, whatever it is you might want for yourself, how will you ever achieve it if you don't start by giving yourselves moments, by listening to that little voice that is there for a reason, urging you to do something that maybe you are meant to be doing? You raise your vibration and you feel happier, and then you draw better things to you and with ease. And then you get more done with less effort. Magic, or the law of attraction. Just start. Start listening to that little voice that's saying, I really feel like doing this, calling a friend, taking a yoga class, going for a walk, whatever it is. It might just change your life. And because maybe you're meant to be doing whatever it is. Maybe that's the start of something. And you don't have to know if it's going to work out or how it's going to work out. Those thoughts or fears that it's human nature to naturally let it creep in, when we often let that stop us, and then we never get started. But let's take some pressure off. Can you predict the future? No? Okay, perfect. Then all you have to do is give yourself a moment, in this moment, to start, because it's impossible to know, unless you can predict the future, if it will work out or how it will work out. So just get going. Life is going to bump you on the right path and in the right direction. But first, we have to be moving. We have to get on the path. So just move, just start. Any direction, and whether it makes any logical sense or not. Oh, there's another quote I saw somewhere recently. It said something like, just go as far as you can see, and then the next step will show up. A friend of mine told me that a while back, her husband came to her and said he was done with his job. I don't remember what kind of work it was that he did at the time, but he suddenly felt disenchanted by it and he didn't want to do it anymore. And they had enough money where he could not work for a little while, so he stopped working and he started doing what he felt like doing. So what did he feel like doing? He felt like going to the stream and picking up rocks. So that is what he did. And he met a guy there who was doing the same thing. And they got to talking. And this guy owns a business making new houses look old with this really cool natural stone or whatever. And now they run this business together. My friend's husband and him, they make these old houses look new houses look old with these cool stones. I don't know what kind of style you would call that, but that's what he does, and he's making money at it, and he loves it. And had he not listened to that little voice that said, I don't like this anymore, I want something different, and then just followed his desire to do whatever he felt like doing, he might still be in that disenchanting job. And when we look around, there are a lot of success stories like this. John Grisham used to be a lawyer. Is that success? Maybe, but success is in the eye of the beholder. And I don't know him personally, but I've read about him and I've read his books. He wanted to be a writer, and he didn't quit his day job. He probably has a family. So he would write at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, whatever. And now he's a successful author. Is that success? It is when we listen to ourselves, to our intuition, to that little voice that is telling us that we want something greater for ourselves. It is then that we are able to realize our true gifts, and then we can give these gifts to the world. So then, wouldn't it be true that when we don't listen to that voice, we deny the world of our gifts? I think most people do, and I think that's pretty sad. But there are lots of success stories like this all around. Start looking, seek, and you shall find. I'm filled with quotes today. But stories where not just famous people, but everyday people started pursuing their passions, which maybe didn't seem at all logical at the time, but they just listened to that voice and got started, and now they've turned it into a career. Like my friend's husband and my friend the painter. So a friend of mine a very long time ago worked for the phone company, and he has a son who is nonverbal autistic, and at the time his son began having a very challenging time, and so my friend didn't feel comfortable leaving him with the caretaker. So my friend quit his job, and he suddenly got the urge, this little voice telling him to paint. He had never painted before in his life, and he started and began turning out these masterpieces, and now he is a painter, a phenomenal painter. Actually, I'm going to show you guys his latest masterpiece. We may not have any idea of the great things that are meant for us. The universe tries to whisper them to lots of success stories all around, people pursuing things that make them happy. And if we don't try, we won't know. What will your story be? We have no idea what might happen for us when we start to listen to that little voice telling us, hey, I want something different. If we don't like something, if we don't enjoy it, that's a sign to do something else. And we can't know what's going to happen. And that's a good thing, because our imagination, even though mine is pretty big, I'm a bigger dreamer than anybody I know. I need to get to know some bigger dreamers, so I'm going to work toward that. But even I'm going to achieve things that I can't even dream. So, we don't know what's going to happen. But if we listen to that voice and we start, we'll figure it out. I'm Amy Lee Miller, and I believe in you.